him from anywhere.
This is Keith Ho taking on Rohan Lewis, and I tell you, Rohan was a busy individual tonight. We actually had designs on showing his third matchup, the round robin between Jelka Dragis and Rohan, but that one was played as we were televising our exhibition contest. So Rohan got a little bit of a break there, but still a very busy man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jelka unfortunately just had to leave because of the Snake Man. I've had people come from China and they say, I'd like to speak to Snake Man. I've never met them before.
So on behalf of my broadcast colleague Gareth Constance and all of our crew, my name is Ardo Cal. Thank you very much for watching Pure Sport Table Tennis here on Rogers TV. The Super Challenge Tournament rolls on. Welcome back to Pure Sport Table Tennis here on Rogers TV. Little bit of a change. We're going to get one more matchup for you, but it's the important one. A knockout stage contest between Rohan Lewis and Keith Ho. This is our final knockout tilt of the evening, and we have had two thus far. Just to recap, it was Amy Nichols defeating Angela Tang to move on, as well Andrei Makov defeated James Yu. So now one of Rohan Lewis or Keith Ho will move on to the quarterfinals, and we're just about set as the two competitors will warm up. Telling us a little bit about Keith Ho. We haven't seen too much of him on these broadcasts. Gareth, tell us about him.
Okay, Keith Ho is actually related to Andre Ho, is the number 4 player in Canada. Keith's come from BC. He's actually working at the club and he has a goal to try and become a top-ranked national player. So he's training very hard. So I'm expecting a good match. I think the favorite would definitely be Rohan, but you can never tell.
Rohan actually played the other match as we were televising our exhibition match between Jeremy Hazen and David Mahabir, and we haven't gotten the result of that one, but he did play Jelka Dragis in the round-robin matchup. Nevertheless, ultimately, it was really just a warm-up match for Rohan because here he is now in the knockout stages.
Yeah, and this is the match that obviously means something in terms of moving forward. This is also a test for a lot of players to see where they stand in the competitive world of table tennis in Canada. When we get into the August the 8th knockout rounds, we have some of the best players in Canada competing. And because of the handicap, that will allow some of these players to maybe stand a chance of pulling off a surprise win. So this is going to get more and more exciting now as we get down to the last rounds.
So things are set to go. Keith Ho takes an early lead, 1-0. Things are tied at 1. Rohan bounces back, and we were talking about it earlier. This is his third matchup of the evening. Is this a positive or is this a negative?
Right now I say it's very positive. Rohan seems to be ready to play. Even though he played his match with Jelka in between, he was well rested, so I think he wants to continue his momentum. I think the match was a good match with Jelka. This is an interesting matchup as well in table tennis because we have a left-handed player and a right-handed player. So it's a different strategy.
That was a similar situation with Jeremy Hazen and David Mahabir as well.
Exactly. We have quite an influx of left-handed players in table tennis, and quite a number of them are very highly ranked left-handed players in the world. At some points there's been first and second have been left-handed. It's just a different game from that side, and when you're right-handed, you're serving to left hand. You got to be careful not to serve into their forehand where they have the most power.
Very interesting serve there by Keith Ho. He really turns the paddle as he hits it, as he hits the ball.
Yeah, he's trying to keep the ball short and with a lot of underside spin on it. Rohan serves are very, very tricky as well because they drop very quickly. You can see Keith is not quite used to that type of serve yet. Keith's been training very, very hard since he got here. A lot of credit to him. He's pretty fast. He's a slim guy, and we need to build some strength up. So after this tournament, we're going to get him to pick up table tennis tables as part of his training program and make him run with them, too. So that should build up some strength.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
Up and down some stairs with the table tennis
Absolutely.
tables on his back.
Look, the good thing is they come in a box, and they weigh about 210 pounds.
Maybe he can carry Andrei Markov on his back.
It might be easier than a 5-foot table tennis table.
7-6, Rohan Lewis is in the lead in our first game. Now a 2-point lead. This is the round of 16. We've seen 2 knockout games thus far.
Good serve
Many
by
impressive, good serve by Keith, yes. Many impressive games we've seen thus far, too.
Yeah, I think from an entertainment value, it's been a very entertaining evening. That serve, you can see that Rohan gave typified the one area that Keith has to become better at, and that's moving into position. In table tennis, we say he got jammed. The ball came into his body and he didn't move. He just stood there and tried to receive it. So first game to Rohan. I think that's a little predictable, but Keith really did a good job.
And what kind of match are you expecting? How will this all unfold in your opinion?
My opinion, I think that Rohan Lewis will win it 3-0. I expect each game to be a seesaw battle, but in the end I think Rohan's got more experience and just slightly stronger shots than Keith right now.
Also a slight point advantage, always starting with a 1-0 lead, is Keith Ho.
1 point doesn't make a lot of difference. As you can see in both games so far, Rohan has tied the game up on the first point.
So as we mentioned, Keith Ho in the black, Rohan Lewis in the red. And the winner of this will have to wait until August 8th to understand who their opponent will be between Vyacheslav Kravchenko and Alex Melnik. Those are the 2 that will be competing on August 8th. And the winner of that will face the winner of this in the quarterfinals.
I'm sure both players here are looking forward to playing the winner of that. I would think that Slava would be the odds-on favorite, but Alex Melnik played really well in the Nationals, so maybe we're in for a surprise there.
Anything can happen in the world of table tennis, huh?
I think anything can happen in the world of sport, and I think table tennis is an unpredictable sport as well.
Keith Ho has the lead right now. It's 4-3. Nice return by Rohan Lewis.
And I think that's something for Keith to think about, is the ball's coming back, so you always got to be prepared for it to come back, and he wasn't prepared for that to come back.
Wasn't prepared for that serve either.
No, it's a good serve by Rohan. He's going the same serve again.
Two-point lead for Rohan.
You know, Rohan actually looks like he's getting stronger. Shots are on the table, and he's got more speed on them right now.
Nice shot there by Rohan. Completely changed the angle on Keith Ho. 9-6 in favor of Rohan. He has a 3-point lead. Very quick return. Keith Ho might be best suited to use that speed.
Yeah, he does move pretty fast, and I think this is just get some good experience in for him. And a year from now, different outcome.
Game point here. You could take a 2-0 lead in the match. Can Rohan Lewis?
Good rally, good rally. Keith followed the ball well there.
Again with the speed. He was quick to the ball there, and I think that that's going to be his key to getting some valuable points.
Yep. We got to make him understand that it's more than a two-shot rally. Once he understands that and realizes he's got to keep in position, expect the ball to come back, then I think it'll be even better. We've made it to
How
deuce.
about this? It's deuce.
Keith has acquitted himself well and fought back. You know, deuce is always a mini game, right? It's like starting from 0, but realizing you're only playing up to 2.
But sometimes you can score many, many points.
I'd like to see one of those. That would be fun.
Advantage goes to Rohan, and Rohan
good
able
shot.
to smash it home. Takes a commanding 2-0 lead. And looks like your prognostication is slowly coming true.
Well, so far I think I've been 1 for 1. So if we're gambling, maybe you want to talk to Fraser. We can see if we get that Caribbean trip.
We take a look at how this all unfolded, and it was just too much to handle for Keith Ho.
Rohan caught him on the offside. It was a good shot by Rohan. Clever shot.
Game number 3, best of 5 in this knockout game in the round of 16. Rohan Lewis ready to serve, already down 1-0 because of the handicap, but he quickly eradicates that.
And that's 3 games in a row. He's taken the 1-0 lead and made it and tied it up. So kind of see 1 point, not a big advantage.
A little bit too much mustard on that one.
Rohan gave him a high spinny ball. Those ones sometimes are the more difficult ones to hit because as soon as they hit your racket, they're spinning instead of having any power on them. That was a good play by Keith. The service was a good setup, and he got on that ball quickly, and it caught Rohan by surprise.
Tied at 2.
Good serve by Rohan to put it long, and just jumped to Keith. He wasn't ready for it. That was an excellent serve by Rohan. Pushed it wide with a lot of underspin. The ball dropped quickly, and Keith, I think, just didn't know what to do with that one.
6-3. A little bit long. Go back to 6-4. But Rohan really taking some risks here, just taking some chances.
think Rohan needs to see how far he can push it because he knows the next round he's going to come up against a really strong player.
Very much like the World Cup in soccer, the round of 16. Always an interesting round, just because you see the powerhouses facing teams that aren't necessarily considered powerhouses, but you often get some interesting stylistic matchups, and that's really what we've seen here tonight.
Yeah, we have. I think the winners have been predictable winners, but their competitors have made it interesting, and they've pushed those guys a little harder. And now Rohan's got total control of this game at 10-4, and maybe you try something spectacular to end the game.
Match point.
Yes, I knew he would try
And
something.
there it is.
And what a beautiful backhand to end the game.
So Rohan Lewis is undefeated on television here tonight. Or pardon me, no, he did lose to James Yu, and he redeems himself here by defeating Keith Ho when it matters. So he's undefeated in he's undefeated in matches where there is a stake.
Yep.
And in the round of 16, he will move on, as we mentioned. He will wait for the winner of Vyacheslav Kravchenko taking on Alex Melnick. That happens on August the 8th. And to recap the knockout matches, Amy Nichols defeated Angela Tang. She moves on. And Andrei Makov defeated James Yu. He moves on.
And Rohan is moving on with them. So all in all, a good night. I look forward to August the 8th.
Time to take a quick break here, and then when we come back, we will wrap things up here from My Table Tennis Club in Mississauga, Ontario. Don't go away.
Always interesting if Jeremy's in the province, because you can hear him from anywhere.
This is Keith Ho taking on Rohan Lewis, and I tell you, Rohan was a busy individual tonight. We actually had designs on showing his third matchup, the round robin between Jelka Dragas and Rohan, but that one was played as we were televising our exhibition contest. So Rohan got a little bit of a break there, but still a very busy man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jelka unfortunately just had to leave, but we'll see Jelka back in the next round in a televised match. She's playing very well right now, so I look forward to seeing her play.
Rohan played this match with a handicap of 1 and still was able to neutralize it very early on, so he will move on. And this is the round robin matchup with James Yu that James was able to win, despite the fact that after he was not able to move on in the tournament.
Yeah,
look at this rally there.
Excellent rally, and as I said earlier, I think James is moving on right now to Korea for more training, so he'll get a chance to beat up Andre when he gets back. And James, just too much power from Andre. And James is moving up. It won't be long before they're having a much tighter battle. But, you know, if Andre can keep training and if his employers can let him play a little more table tennis, he can be a factor in every tournament.
Oh, he was certainly a factor here. He defeated James Yu, and it was really, I mean, the Crushing Russian. As he admits, you are the one that gave him the nickname.
Man, I've had people come from China, and they say, I'd like to speak to Snake Man. I've never met them before.
So on behalf of my broadcast colleague, Gareth Constance, and all of our crew, my name is Ardo Cal. Thank you very much for watching Pure Sport Table Tennis here on Rogers TV. The Super Challenge Tournament goes on.